drunk you are. It's kind of telling you, like, if you can't balance this shit, you need to go sit down.
Or I'm gaining weight and I'm fat. I don't know my own size anymore.
Speaking of sizes, fucking some guys think they're still like they still have their high school size, put on their high school jeans. Fat asses, you don't fit in those things anymore. See that?
Luckily, my weight hasn't shifted too much. Maybe 20 pounds here and there, but
that's the douchebag of the week. The guy that still wears high school clothes, or the girls that still wear high school clothes. You know, they're in their 30s. They think they still fit into those high school clothes. And
we used to work with the girl named Maria.
You're going to drop her name.
I don't know, not her last name. Maria
Does V stand for vagina?
Yeah, no. She worked with us. She's a bartender. You know who she is.
Oh,
and she had a great line one time. We were all out. I think we were all out drinking one night after work, and there were some girls that were wearing practically nothing, just short skirts, you know, half tops, whatever. They were almost butt naked out with us, and I was like, you know, it's cold outside. And I look at the girls, I was like, God damn, look at those sluts over there. And she goes, sluts never get cold.
Sluts never get cold.
And I thought about it for a second. I'm like, you're right. Those bitches could be in snow and still be wearing that fucking outfit.
That's right. They
90 degrees outside.
Well, they like to show the headlights, if you know what I mean. Mm-hmm. The camel toe, the moose knuckle, if you will. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Speaking of Maria, she had was that Myra's sister? I'm just trying to recall because I seen Myra not too long ago.
She looked good, huh?
I was amazed. I was like, "What happened to you?" She used to have like the Michelin tire around the waist.
I didn't see lots of weight. No.
She was fairly cute. You know, the thing
always had a beautiful face.
The thing that was attractive about her was that, you know, whenever she wore a shirt, even though she had the Michelin tire, she just had these big pumped up ass titties. You know, and it was lovely how you could just see the crack and them coming. I mean, you know, it was a work of art. But the tire, man, never done it for me. And
where'd you see her at?
She swung by the restaurant. She was eating with a friend, and I was just like. You know, she was wearing like tight little like workout clothes or whatever, but you know, she didn't work out on it, obviously. You know, it was more of a fashion thing, but she looked amazing. And yeah, you know, we just exchanged phone numbers, and I tried contacting her. She hasn't contacted me back. She's probably thinking, I know you like it, huh, douchebag? That's what you get. Because she used to always flirt with me, and, you know, I was never receptive to that.
She's a strange person. I mean, I always liked her. I always got along with her, but she was one of those people that I felt had a little bit of a guard up. You know what I mean? A little wall up. Maybe it was just with me.
It might have been with you because I had all the 411 on her. You know, she'd have a boyfriend, and I'd be like, why don't you, you know, like, are you guys fucking? She was a virgin at that time. I mean, I'm sure she's not by now, but
she would tell me shit like that.
Yeah,
but she just wasn't like a touchy-feely person.
Oh, I see.
No, we were cool. She was.
Yeah, she's not a touchy-feely person, but you know, I'd hug her. She's a sweetheart, and you know, I used to joke around sometimes. I go, "You want me to remove that little like thing for you?"
What, her hymen?
That's right.
Dr. Hyman?
Joke around like that. Man, you know, sneaking in those little lines, I can't tell you how many women I picked up but just by saying something stupid like, you want to come home with me and be my pillow? I mean, silly little shit, you know. But it's never lines because it's not something that, you know, like I practice, comes out naturally. I never use lines on women. I just, you know.
We always talk about that.
Yeah, using lines is cheesy. I mean,
you don't want to be too rehearsed because then girls don't trust that. They feel like you're not being genuine.
Well, I never rehearse shit.
Practicing material on them.
Yeah, I never rehearse shit, and sometimes I laugh like before I go to bed from the shit that just falls or spews. It's like fucking verbal vomit just that comes out of this mouth.
Yeah, I was thinking the same thing. Like, someone will say, Sonny or Savvy, do you remember I used to say this, that, and the other? You said this to me. You said that to me. I said, I do not remember that.
Like you're going to remember the dialogue.
I don't remember that. They're like, well, you said this funny thing. I said, I don't remember.
The dialogue.
This one girl we used to work with at the OG, she comes up to the restaurant, and she was, you know, like you said, that one girl, Myra, got the makeover. This girl, she slimmed down. And she goes, I'm still mad at you for what you said to me. I said, what are you talking about? She goes, like a year ago, you said something so mean to me, and I've been in the gym ever since. And I was like, if I did, I apologize. I'm sorry.
You should be thanking me.
I don't remember. I was like, you look amazing, though.
She should be thanking you.
I was like, you look amazing. I said, what did I say? So she says, we were in the side station, and I mentioned the fact that my apron kept slipping off. And you came up behind me and said, because you have no ass. It was a joke.
Oh, man.
Right?
Do I know this person?
You might.
Ah, man.
It was a joke,
Right.
but she took it so fucking personal and serious that she took her ass to the gym every day to pump up her ass.
Like
and
I
get
said,
skinny.
you shouldn't apologize. You should say,
I didn't want to hurt her feelings. That's the only reason I was apologizing. I wasn't apologizing what I said. I wasn't trying to hurt her feelings though. I wasn't trying to make her feel bad about herself.
Right.
I was just making a joke, and she, truth hurts, man. If she didn't have an ass though. I mean, I wasn't saying anything that was false. I'm not a liar.
Wow. Well, you know what? That's a good thing. I'm proud of that girl because other girls will shrug it off and, they're just like, they deceive themselves. I don't know where I heard this, but there's like this thing I heard. I was watching a movie, drinking vino, and it was really profound in that the guy said, people only see the world, like they want to see it. They
Right.
don't see it for what it really is, so you perceive everything from your point of view, and that can be pretty distorted sometimes. If you're willing to accept the truth, sometimes, that's a good thing, man. You can.
That goes to the saying that a fool doesn't learn from his mistakes. A smart man learns from his mistakes, and a wise man learns from others' mistakes.
Oh, nice. There you go.
Right?
Well put.
So, yeah, if you can kind of, that's why people study history, right? Because
Yeah.
they realize human nature never changes throughout time. The 7 deadly sins are the 7 deadly sins.
Right.
There's
There's no
vanity, there's
change.
greed, there's gluttony. Man doesn't change, So we can sit back and, study, ancient Chinese history and realize that men and power and fortune and glory, men still want the same things. They're never going to change. So that's why we study history,
Right.
so we
You're
can
never-
know and learn from the mistakes of our forefathers.
Right.
Right?
You're never going to reinvent the wheel. That's
And
just that.
Yeah, and you learn from, like you said, you take a different perspective on things. Yeah, you can look at the world through your eyes, but your eyes are a little distorted.
Yeah.
If you kind of listen to other people and say, well, I can't see the situation because I'm deep in it.
Right. Well, that's the thing is,
Help me out.
we discussed this before, and we were talking about how in the universities and college, you never take a course. You'll take courses on comprehensive shit and all that, but never on listening.
Nah.
Why not? Listening is the most important thing. If you listen, you're able to draw back and understand, and then you go in with with your piece, with what you have to say, and you go in there with a piece of knowledge. You're not just like babbling on without knowing the facts.
Is that ego that stops people from listening? Like they think they know it all. They don't have to be told anything. What is that?
I don't know. What
I don't
it
know,
is,
man, because I have no problem listening. Yeah, some people I'm like, fuck you, I don't want to hear what you're saying. But for the most part, I've learned a lot from people that I don't like.
There you go.
I'm not going to let emotion get in the way of learning.
All right.
I don't know, man. I don't know. But one thing I wanted to ask you was, when did ranch dressing become a hot commodity?
A hot commodity.
When I was growing up, we didn't have to pay for a side of ranch. Now it's like 25, 50 cents.
Where the hell have you been dining out, man?
Dude, I'm telling you, like any fast food restaurant or some like fantastic burgers, whatever it is, you want a side of ranch, 25 cents, 50 cents. Is it because it's so popular they can charge now? What is it? Like ranch dressing? Really? You going to charge me for ranch? How come you don't charge me for ketchup or mustard?
Right. It's a fad. I saw this
Ranch.
I saw this film on the Botany of Desire. There was four things. There was four things. There was apples, there was potatoes, tulips, and marijuana. These were like
Tulips.
tulips. Believe it or not, there was a time when tulips, a bulb sold for
Oh, okay.
for the price of a apartment in Manhattan, which is around about $15 million today.
What?
And this happened for 3 years, and people were buying it, and then after 3 years, somebody decided, you know what, fuck that shit. So then people stopped buying them, and everybody lost stock in the tulip. But I don't know where I'm going with this. Fuck that. But anyways, apples.
No, hot
if you look-
commodities.
yeah, it was at the time. Then there's apples. Apples have always been related to to religion, or you see them in paintings.
An apple a day keeps the doctor away.
Yeah, you know where that came about?
Probably the fucking apple farmers of America or something.
No, that's true. But they started marketing their apples because they do apple cider, and they wanted it. After they stopped doing apple cider because of prohibition,
Mm-hmm.
they had a